So here we are in Chapter 7, skipping around. Chapter 7 is all about percents, one of the most important things that you learn. And you've probably seen it before in your previous math classes, but we're going to make sure you really learn it well in this section. So first of all, I want you to think about the word percent. Okay? There's two root words in there. One is per, and the other is cent. And if you think about cents, how many cents are on a dollar, you know there's 100. So the word percent means per 100. Okay? So when we look at 23%, that means 23 per 100. So we write 23% as 23 out of 100. And in general, P over 100 is P percent. So 5 out of 100 is 5%, right? 0.2 out of 100 is 0.2%. Keep the decimal. Okay, so just always keep in your mind what that word percent means. It means per 100. So if we want to convert these to percents, what we want to do is write them in hundreds. Write them as 100 as the denominator. Okay, so let's look at the first one. 6 over 20 is what over 100? Well, you remember how to do this from the last section. You know you have to multiply 20 by 5 to get to 100, right? So we're going to do the same thing with 6. Okay, so we know that 6 out of 20 is the same as 30 out of 100, or 30 per 100, which is 30%. Okay, so it's really nice and easy to convert fractions to percents if the denominator divides evenly into 100. Okay, so the next example, what do you have to multiply 5 by to get to 100? Well, you can just divide 5 into 100 quickly in your head, and you can see that it's 20. So we have to do the same thing with the 3. And you know 3 times 20 is 60. So 3/5 is 60%, right? 3 over 5 is a little more than half of 5, so it makes sense that it would be more than 50%. Okay, great. How about converting the other way? Now we want to go from percents to fractions. And again, if we remember the word percent means per 100, then 31% is the same as 31 per 100, or 31 over 100. And we know 31 and 100 are relatively prime, so we're done. Okay, 55%. Again, we write it as 55 over 100, except now we can divide out. What can we divide out? Can you see? It's a 5, so we take 5 into 55 11 times. 5 goes into 100 20 times, and that means that 55% is the same as 11 over 20. Okay, feel pretty good? Hope so. All right, so what I have here are common percents. And I want you to put these in your notebook, someplace where you're going to easily be able to refer to them and get them into your mental memory. Okay, 10%, 1/10, 20%, 1/5, 25%, or a quarter. You know already a quarter is 25 cents. 30%, it's the same as 30 over 100, simplifies to 3 over 10. So all of these percents, when written as a fraction, simplify to the numbers on the right. 80%, right? 80 over 100. Okay, it's simplified to 4 out of 5 because we divide out of 20. 20 goes into 84 times and into 105 times. So that's how we get those fractions. But they're really good ones to get in our mental memory because we'll use them. Okay, so here's an example. We want to find 40% of 15. Well, if we've learned that 40% is 2/5, then we can just do this very simply. 2/5 of 15, of means multiply in mathematics, right? And you can write it as 15 over 1 if you want. I don't bother. I just say 5 goes into 15 3 times. 2 times 3 is 6. So 6 is 40% of 15. Does that make sense? It's a little less than half of 15. Half of 15 would be 7.5, so it makes sense that 6 is 40% of 15. Okay, so before you turn off the video, I want to make sure you've written all these percents down and that you begin to memorize them. I will ask you one-on-one. Okay, so the other thing I'd like you to do besides write down those conversions is to do the checkpoint on the bottom of page 330. There's 4 problems, and jot these down at the beginning of your homework. See you tomorrow.